Yes, thank you, Jules. Good afternoon. Well, history tells us they don't like each other, these two. It's Wales, it's England. The city of Bristol lies around 20 miles from the border, a national border, which adds the spice to this rivalry. When Bristol City go for a day trip to Wales, whether Cardiff or Swansea is the destination, things hot up. Next week, it's the seven-side feud against the club from the Welsh capital. First, Bristol City walk into Swansea's heartland. Well, let's take a look at the teams for you, and Jan Bobotnik makes his second league start for Swansea. He replaces Liam Cullen, who is ill. Gonçalo Franco has settled into life here in next to no time following his move from Portugal. He is a fierce competitor who will try and shut down Bristol City today. Kyle Norton replaces Josh Key at right back. Ronald and Ji-Sung Om provide the flair in this Swansea team. The experienced Joe Allen, who could be coming out of international retirement, is amongst the substitutes. There's a first start for Yu Hirakawa in a Bristol City shirt. The Japanese winger has already won the hearts of Bristol City fans with his impact from the bench. Scott Twine starts in his favourite position. He has been moving into that role from the left during matches so far, but he's stationed there from the off today. Former Derby duo Max Bird and Jason Knight start at the heart of midfield, with Joe Williams dropping to the bench. So Lawrence Vigouroux in goal for Swansea City. He did play under Luke Williams at Swindon. Andy, how important has he been for Swansea so far?
Well, Swansea's strong defensive start is in most part down to him. You can see that teams have been allowed to get the ball into the Swansea penalty area. They've got plenty of shots in, but time and again Vigouroux has come to the rescue. He needs more protection. He can't continue to be asked to perform goalkeeping heroics. And for Bristol City, just 1 point and 1 goal on the road so far. Scott Twine can certainly help change that. He has such creativity. His teammates just need to start taking the chances he produces. He played a major part in the second half comeback win against Oxford last time out. Will he be as influential today? He's playing where he wants to be. That's as a number 10.
Yeah, and he changed his boots in the warm-up too as the rain started to tumble down here. Liam Manning has a lot in common with his Swansea counterpart in terms of style, pathway, and he knows how to win here. Luke Williams relishes days like this, games with plenty of spice, games with plenty of fire, and he knows Bristol City inside out, having coached there when Lee Johnson was the manager. He still lives close to Bristol, but on the Welsh side of the border. Yeah,
we have to mention the conditions, because the rain is tumbling down. There's a fair breeze blowing around the stadium as well, so I think it's hard enough to play against your opponents, but when the weather's like this, you've got to adjust your game.
Plenty of zip to the pitch, though, here. Two teams who like to play football. Bristol City have travelled over the border in their numbers this morning to get here. And we are almost good to go. Swansea City have been to the Premier League. Bristol City have only ever dreamt about it, but they are determined to get there one day soon. Swansea want to live those days again, but doing it their way. And under Luke Williams, they have been more like the Swansea City that we have become used to. And it will be they who get us underway here as the rain tumbles down.
Yeah, both sides like to dominate the ball, to dominate possession. The team that maybe has a plan B could be the winner.
The referee is Andrew Kitchen. We are good to go as the wind whips up around the Swansea.com stadium. It's a fixture this, which Bristol City enjoyed last season, doing the double. It cut Swansea deep. Cardiff City will always be enemy number 1 around here, but Bristol City isn't too far away these days.
And straight from the off, you see how high up the pitch Scott Twine is playing, virtually partnering Sinclair Armstrong.
Vigouroux getting to that. And we've heard about what he does with his hands. He's pretty handy with his feet as well, which is why Luke Williams brought him in here. As I mentioned earlier, He does know him from his Swindon Town days.
Yeah, and he only came in the summer, and sometimes it can be hard for a goalkeeper to acclimatise with the defenders that are around you. They haven't protected him anywhere near well enough, but his saves he's made this season is why Swansea have this strong defensive start, but he does need the defenders ahead of him to do more.
Hirakawa involved, Twine trying to get to that. Norton does instead for Swansea. There's Yu Hirakawa again. There's always a buzz amongst the Bristol City fans when he picks up possession. He's managed to dig that cross out, and Vigouroux will hold on.
Yeah, Hirakawa came on second half against Oxford and had a huge attacking influence on the game, and straight from the off here, this is what he's good at, wide positions, taking on midfielders who are backpedaling, but he can deliver dangerous crosses. That's exactly what Bristol City want from him.
Yeah, it was Anis Mehmeti who made his way in from the left-hand side to connect with that. Swansea with the first chance to make their way forward. There's Ollie Cooper, a goal scorer against Coventry last week. Left grounded and gets the free kick.
Yeah, Ollie Cooper has given a bit of licence to go walkabout, to pop up in a variety of attacking positions, as he does here, comes onto the ball, does the right thing, drives into space, there's a bit of contact. Is he shoved to the ground? I'm not sure.
Well, Bristol City have conceded 4 goals from set pieces so far this season. Swansea will look to try and add to that here. Cabango and Harry Darling are both waiting at the far post. Vopotnik is there too.
Consider the conditions, whip it straight on top of the goalkeeper.
It's left to time and it's an outswinger and it's over the top of everybody.
I just don't understand that delivery. The rain's coming down, the wind's blowing. Get the right footer on the ball, whip it right on top of the goalkeeper. Get your teammates moving across the line of the ball. This is just a total waste.
There's Alan Sheehan, who is in charge of attacking set pieces. Shaking ahead there though from him. He won't be putting his name to that one, I don't think.
Of course, as the attacking set-piece coach, you can have a plan. You can work with, Josh Tymon on his delivery. If he gets it that badly wrong, you can't really turn and blame the coach. It's down to the player.
Gives chase to this, faced by Tanner. Vopotnik is in the middle. Ji-sung He's almost dropped there for Gonzalo Franco. Ronald tries to do something with it. Feels for handball from a couple of Swansea City players as the visitors find a way out. Great work from Ji-sung on the approach there, and Gonzalo Franco came racing in but couldn't really do anything with it. Now it's Bristol City on the front foot and put behind by Tymon.
And it's Bristol City's counter-attack. I talked about having a plan B. Bristol City have one, we've just seen it. And Swansea committing so many bodies high up the pitch. In the final third, they lose the ball, and suddenly that counter-attack is on, and Bristol City have quick players, direct players that can hurt them playing this way. They're short in defensive numbers, it's a dangerous ball in. Hirakawa just doesn't make his move early enough.
So what can Bristol City do from a set piece of their own? Max Bird playing for the Robins, prepares to take it. Rolls it short, gets it back. Bird again, a deep cross towards that far post. Cabango defending. Max Bird again. No trouble for Vigouroux.
You can see what he's trying to do. Again, the conditions, play to the conditions, whip that ball, get it zipping off the wet surface, keep it on target. A bit like Tymon, it's just a complete waste. This initial ball in isn't a bad one, comes back out to him. I can see what he's trying to do, but for what? 25 yards, you really should be keeping that whip on target.
A bright start to this contest. There's Sinclair Armstrong. Now Hayden Roberts. Plenty in the box for Bristol City over the head of Twine, who looked like he was thinking about the acrobatics.
I feel I've been quite critical early on, Gary. I'll try and temper that a little bit.
That's because you have. I know what you like on a Sunday. You okay?
I'll take the deep breath, I feel a lot better.
So that's it,
sometimes you've just got to get it out, haven't you?
It's out. Let's carry on. Harry Darling, who Bristol City did try and sign late on in the transfer window, a player who played under Liam Manning at MK Dons, and Liam Manning came calling late on in the window. Swansea City weren't ready to do business.
You see how Swansea operate in possession, playing out from the back. They push their two full-backs on, so the centre-halves are left in possession. So important players like Grimes just drop in to give those centre-halves a pass.
Twine putting the squeeze on. There's Vigouroux, who plays it straight to Bird. Now Twine. Hirakawa. On will collect for Swansea, for Potnick. On again, but Potnick stayed down, and the referee blows for a free kick.
I'm sure the referee's going to have a word with Viner, who just goes straight through for Potnick here. He's nowhere near the ball, plays the man, takes him out of the game. The referee has a little look at it. He's thinking about playing the advantage playing on, but they're so deep in possession that I think the free kick is the better option for Swansea.
There's on. South Korean, who gets it back from Cooper. In the way again for Bristol City. This is Grimes looking to keep Swansea on the front foot. It's a really good start to this contest. On. Cooper. Involved again, looking to dance away from Tanner. Cooper, Tymon's on the outside, Cooper goes inside. Looking for Cooper again. But doing the defending that time for Bristol City.
Yeah, almost look really dangerous down this left-hand side for Swansea, so I'm sure that George Tanner might just have a word with Hirakawa and say, look, I know you want to attack, you want to get over the halfway line, but when he's in possession, you need to come back and help me out.
He's been a hot prospect in South Korean football for a while, has Ji Sung-on. He's involved again here. This is Cooper. Bird doing the defending for the visitors. Mehmeti. There goes Roberts.
It's so important for Bristol City that Jason Knight, Max Bird play those kind of really destructive, combative central midfield roles. They've got plenty of attackers in the team. Those two don't need to get caught too high up the pitch. There's plenty of attack-minded players ahead of them. Do their job.
Well, there's Armstrong closing in for Bristol City. Twine! And Vigouroux gets to it. That is what Lawrence Vigouroux has been doing this season so far, coming up with big saves for Swansea.
Well, Scott Twine can't really do anymore. He's definitely onside as the forward ball is played. Beautifully timed run. It's getting closed off, but when he breaks to Twine, does so well to react quickly, Twine. He's actually gone beyond the ball, just sticks out a left boot, gets really good contact on it, but Vigouroux, he does what he's done all season long, makes a fine save.
He may be busy again here, Lawrence Vigouroux. He's making up for lost time, having spent last season as the number 2 with Burnley. That time it was Mehmeti setting his sights. There's Roberts. Bristol City on the approach again. Darling goes in low and gets to it. This is Roberts. Now Franco driving Swansea up the pitch. Armstrong leaves his calling card.
Or is it just going to be a word from the referee, because this is just a pointless challenge? If you get booked for this, it changes the way that you have to play. Why on earth are you taking out Norton here? Sinclair Armstrong, the ball is gone. Okay, he knows what he's doing. If he picks up a booking for that, and again, your game has to change, so why risk it? It looks like it's just going to be a word from the referee. It's fortunate the centre forward. There's a save worth seeing again I think the difficulty is how quickly the ball comes at him. It's unexpected as well. It's close to him. His positioning's good. But it's how quickly he gets up, you know, his hands to make the save. Sharp reactions, great reflexes. Again, look at his anticipation. He's ready to make a save, and he makes a wonderful one.
Well, a big pull for Lawrence Bigaroo signing here as that man, Martin Margetson, the head of goalkeeping here, and was the goalkeeping coach with England under Gareth Southgate until the end of the Euros. There goes Om. Putting it side onto his favoured right foot, as he loves to do, and able to pick out the top corner. But he is looking a threat.
You notice there, rather than Hirakawa come back and help out Tanner, it's actually Max Bird who's having to drift across from central midfield to try and double up to reduce his influence. This can't continue to happen. You know, Om getting isolated against a right back eventually. Bristol City will be caught out.
Well, they have struggled on the road, Bristol City, of late. Defeats at Derby, albeit when they were chasing the results. Blackburn was the real disappointment for Liam Manning. And there was some talk of Liam Manning being under a bit of pressure. External talk of him being under a bit of pressure before last week's turnaround victory against Oxford. It's in John Lansdowne, the Bristol City chair, and majority owner Steve Lansdowne. They do tend to give their managers and coaches time.
Yeah, that second half performance against Oxford, so important. Their most important half of football they played this season. Just one win in the opening 5, 1-0 down at half-time at home. Crowd weren't happy, but he was proactively in Manning, changed the team, got them on the front foot, won the game.
Mehmeti, who can get out of the tightest of spots. Wants to throw in, but it goes the other way.
Oh, we wondered who might dominate the ball. It's certainly Swansea, but most of the threat is coming from Bristol City. Again, maybe that plan B. Can you adapt a little bit with less of the ball? Can it be more of a threatening counter-attacking side? That's exactly what we've seen from Bristol City, letting Swansea have it, not really getting hurt that much.
That's how they won here last season. There's Norton. Ronald. Ronald picks up the baton again. Trying to outwit Roberts. Delivered that cross, but Potnik gets up. And it's dropped again to Jan Potnik, who slams it wide.
It's a really good opportunity. Maybe comes to him slightly unexpectedly to just keep the ball alive in the box. There's a couple of good defensive challenges from the Bristol City defenders, but the ball does break kindly. Again, from this position, you have to be keeping it on target. Okay, it's a bouncing ball, not under massive pressure. Should be hitting the target at the very least. It's a good chance.
Well, it is a corner. And Ji-Sung Om is standing over it. Delivers it towards that far post. The keeper was struggling, and he's been beaten. Ben Cabango reels away in celebration. A special celebration for him. And Swansea City's Welsh Dragon roars. And Bristol City have got major problems in Wales.
Well, it looks a really soft goal to give away. Max O'Leary's complains to the referee that he was maybe blocked off or fouled. We'll have a look at it. There's somebody standing alongside him. I think it's actually Ronald. Whether he actually fouls the goalkeeper, I'm not sure that he does. There's maybe slightly an arm around him. O'Leary isn't strong enough. Get Ronald out of the way, get to the ball. And the defenders are just standing and watching. It's such a soft goal to give away. You've got to stay with the runners, got to stay with Cabango. That's too easy.
Well, it's his first goal since he struck late on to win the South Wales derby against his hometown club, Cardiff City, in April of last year. He likes a goal in these big games, Ben Cabango.
But Max O'Leary, you've got Ronald in front of you. Get him out of the way. It's not going to get a penalty. Move him out of the way. Get to the ball.
Hirakawa. Bristol City now have a corner of their own.
Well, it's been a fantastic opening quarter of an hour, both sides really going at it. Now we've got the opening goal. It's down to Bristol City to respond. They certainly have done that. And Timon does well just to block that cross-come shot. Got to get close, and he does.
Swansea have yet to concede from a set piece this season. Twine with the corner, and that header was touched onto the post in the end. Jason Knight came flying in with the initial touch. Armstrong tried to get to it at the far post.
Well, there's two Bristol City players who should really score, because Knight gets to it in space, should be hitting the target, doesn't. And Armstrong, I wonder why he's going at this with his right foot. Can he go at it with his left and maybe just tuck it home? Decides to go with the outside of his right boot. He should be scoring. You know, dip your head, go with your left foot, score.
It's been a lively opening 16.5 minutes. And it shows no signs of slowing down.
Well, just looking at the goal again, it was actually Tanner who got the blocking from Vopotnik. I did him a bit of a disservice saying he didn't hit the target. So, defended well, gave the corner away, but, you know, Max O'Leary, the Bristol City defenders, that's just not good enough from a ball whipped into your 6-yard box.
There's the goal scorer, Ben Cabango. Harry Darling. Cooper. Franco again, turns into trouble in the form of Armstrong. And he gets the free kick. Tanner. Nice touch from him, allowed Om to pounce, but Tanner's continued his run. Hirakawa. There's Bird. Now McNally. This is Roberts. There's Mehmeti. He likes to step in from the left. Deliver with his right, although he can go either way, Anis Mehmeti. Well, that's problematic, and it's off the post. Ollie Cooper, a scorer last week against Coventry City, almost catching out Bristol City.
Oh, goodness me, the game could be pretty much over if this finds the back of the net. But look at the work from the centre forward, the closing down, the harrying of defenders, and he should really get his rewards. Zach Viner taking too long to clear his lines. Cooper does everything right, and he is so unlucky.
Bristol City, almost the architects of their own downfall. I must admit, I had a quick glance down at my pad because I thought Bristol City looked to be comfortable in possession. I won't be doing that again. Looked up, panic.
Well, they just actually flagged it up, how comfortable playing on the counter-attack and how dominant in terms of the threat were Bristol City, and then they concede a soft goal from a corner. Could be 2-0 down, the game could be over.
Well, right now, life couldn't be too much better for Swansea City fans. Leading here, back-to-back championship wins, early days, but started this weekend in 7th position in the table, and of course they'll be revelling in Cardiff City's misery down the road right now. There's Harry Darling. Through the gap neatly and nicely to Timon. He's gone for the ball here from Cooper. Well, Twine, who went close early on for Bristol City. It breaks down for them again. Did come from behind last week in Ashton Gate to beat Oxford the Bristol City, thanks to those changes that Liam Manning made at the break. Used his bench really well. A few of those substitutes are starters here today. Darling looking to pick out the run of O'Leary stretches and gets to it.
Yeah, he couldn't actually catch it first time. If he had done, his momentum would have taken him out of the penalty area.
Eye-catching goalkeeper shirt that Bristol City have this season. They're becoming prolific in that department. There's Harry Darling.
Swansea, of course, now taking the lead. How important is that save from Figueroa? Shot from Twine came in, great reaction, stopped. Kept it at 0-0. Now Swansea are ahead.
Franco. Tanner going to ground. Ball just carried out. Which is a topical point in the Championship this weekend. Let's time it. Bristol City once again in their out of possession shape of 4-4-2, and that ball fires forward, looking to pick out Ronaldo, but too close to O'Leary. Getting the better of Tanner. There's Grimes stepping forward. Again, he's seen plenty of the ball in the opening quarter of this contest. Delivers the cross towards Vopotnik. There's Vopotnik again, in for the ill Liam Cullen today. Ronaldo. He's on the dance floor. Like he was on Wine Street in Swansea then. Don't ask me how I know, Andy. There's Darling.
I know how you know.
Now Cooper, who wins the foul, and there's no way out for Bristol City right now.
Yeah, in that earlier attack, put a really dangerous ball in, but it came from him closing Tanner down. We saw it earlier with Cooper. Now with they're a team, Swansea, that will step onto you when you have the ball.
Harry Darling finding Ronaldo. Swansea are 8 points better off than they were a year ago. There lots, of course, problems at the top end of the Championship this season. Given away there by Grimes, and Cowell will try and get to this. Harry Darling guarding the near post.
That doesn't happen too often. It can't really happen too often with Matt Grimes dropping into a centre-half position, giving the ball away so cheaply, normally so reliable in possession.
Sinclair Armstrong, summer signing from Queen's Park Rangers. He's picked out Tanner. Now Twine. Zabango with the header away. Zach Viner. Out of play from Max O'Leary. Another game without a clean sheet for the Bristol City keeper. Bristol City have yet to keep a clean sheet this season. They were pretty much defensively sound last season. It was the top end of the pitch that Liam Manning looked to improve in the summer. Looking to get that balance right, but Bristol City, in terms of defending last season, were in the top 5 in the Championship. In terms of their goal scoring last season, 15th in the Championship. So we look to try and improve the top end of the pitch whilst trying to keep that balance, which is difficult at times.
I'm sure we're going to take a look at that goal again, but I do feel Max O'Leary has to be stronger, get Ronald out of the way. It won't be given as a penalty, just move him out of your way, but Ronald is in there to impede him, to make it difficult for him to get to the ball, and there is an argument to say that he was fouled, so we'll have a look at that when we get a chance.
Gets it back from Cooper. Ronald gets away from Bird. Swansea are strutting their stuff here.
Yeah, Ronald there really epitomises how Swansea go about things when they lose it. He works hard to get the ball back, as flying into the challenge very quickly, overturns possession high up the pitch, so they don't really lose any of their momentum, they don't lose the ball.
Harry Darling looking to pick out the hugely experienced Kyle Norton. There's Om. Timon. Now the target, and he's been fouled. Roberts with the intervention. This is Tanner. Manning just down below us, threw his arms up there in a frustrated manner at the way that broke down for Bristol City. Touch from Ronald, who's left grounded. There's Knight. Challenge on Knight by Cooper.
The aggression off the ball from Swansea, really impressive.
That's one way of controlling a ball. Grimes going to ground, he slipped. It almost came off for him.
Trapped the ball with his head.
Hirakawa. Made space for the cross again. Hirakawa over the head of Sinclair Armstrong. It's a few times he's managed to dig out the cross on this near side. Hirakawa. Here come Bristol City again. Hirakawa again. He's away from Om with ease. Goes in low, and Harry Darling's in the way. It's a good spell this for Bristol City. Tanner. Mehmeti with the turn. Mehmeti. Now it's Scott Twine. An important block by Norton. Ronald picks up a Swansea City. He skips away from Bird. And he's picked out on. It's a really good pace about this contest. Cabango. There's Ronald. Tanner moves away from Om. Timon doing the defending this time for Swansea, and he's won the throw.
There's great recovery from Timon, because they've got a problem here, Swansea, because they commit so many bodies high up the pitch over the halfway line. They lose it, the counter-attack is on, and Timon very quick to get back and get the challenge in.
Cabango. This is Grimes. Faced up by Tanner again. Potney came short, the ball goes long. Cooper still trying to make something of it. O'Leary's clearance has gone straight to Potney. O'Leary retreats, but Nally does the job.
Well, he reads the danger coming out of his penalty area, no problem with that, but it's such a poor pass, a poor layoff. They're forced into that longer forward ball. He reads it, but that is a really poor layoff, poor pass. He's lucky to escape, really. Just looking at the goal again, Max O'Leary, he has to be stronger, has to get Ronaldo out of the way, but Ronaldo is there to impede him, and he actually does put an arm around him, he does stop him getting to the ball, so I think on balance that really should be given as a foul, but if it isn't, defenders have to switch on. Bird has to stay with Cabango, he gets blocked off, it's soft, but they're all turning, looking at the referee, and I think Max O'Leary does have a point.
Yeah, he's had to be patient as well to finally get his chance as the regular number one at Bristol City, which he did get last season, Max O'Leary. Well, that's why Bristol City had those complaints about the goal being allowed to stand from Ben Cabango. Gonzalo Franco. There's Cooper's on the outside. It's Ji-sung and it's into the Bristol City fans.
Well, it's a brilliant run off the ball from Ollie Cooper. It's just dragged some of that Bristol City defensive attention. Just watch the run from Cooper here as picks up the ball. He makes his run on the outside. That means the defender has to step away, anticipating the ball might get played wide. That opens the space up for The quality he has, he should be doing a lot better than smashing it way over the crossbar.
Gets the free kick. Scott Twine has a word or two to say to his teammates. Was on loan at Bristol City last season. They were faced a 3-month battle with Burnley to complete his signing on a permanent basis this summer. Scott Twine. Burnley would not budge in their valuation. Eventually, Bristol City got the deal done. Foul by Franco.
Well, Swansea dominating the ball, the possession, but what they're not doing as effectively as Bristol City is get the ball into the most dangerous area of the pitch. That's the final third, so Swansea will want more of that. Less possession on the halfway line, get it into the final third, but not easy because the way Bristol City is setting up that 4-4-2, it's hard to get the ball forward into that area.
Mametti, Twine. Roberts. This is Bristol City's 10th successive season in the Championship. The club was ready for the Premier League years ago. It's not happened yet. They did spend plenty of cash back in 2019 when they really did push the button and chase the dream. Not spending as much now. This is the longest Bristol City have been in a single division since they spent 11 years in the second tier between 1965 and 1976. They are desperate to bring the Premier League to Ashton Gate.
There's good work from Jason Knight there, driving forward. The ball was won back high up the pitch in the Swansea half. He drove into space, he drew the foul from Ollie Cooper, who's working back for the team, doing the right thing, but he's giving away a cheap free kick. Can Twine now deliver, whip that ball into the space between Vigouroux and his back line, let his teammates attack it.
What does he have up his sleeve here, Scott Twine? Easily away by Jan Potney.
You've got to beat that first man, it's better than that, Scott Twine. That is such a poor delivery.
O'Leary, plenty of height on that ball, and it found its target, but the flag is up against Roberts.
I tell you, Swansea did well as it was cleared into the Bristol City half. They squeezed up as a team and stayed in line. That's the most important thing. So when the ball is returned into their half, You see how quickly they squeeze up the pitch. They all stay together. It's defensive unity. That's why Bristol City are caught offside.
Well, you can see Bristol City in action again against Sheffield Wednesday, who had a really good win yesterday. That's Wednesday, 7:30, Sky Sports Football and Sky Sports main event. Also, you can see Preston against Watford, Wednesday, 7:35 on Sky Sports Plus, if that is part of your subscription. There's Gonzalo Franco. Just snap around the pitch. Gonzalo Franco. Playing in the Portuguese top tier last season with Moreira.
It's a good blend, isn't it? Franco and Grimes, two different types of central midfielders.
Here is Grimes to Cooper. Cooper, fired through for Franco. Gonzalo Franco! He hit that with feeling, repelled by O'Leary. Now it's He's created room for the cross over the head of Ronald. Another Nurley moment for Swansea City.
I just wonder if Franco has his time again. Does he take some of the power off it and go for more precision? Gets into a brilliant position, works the opening, and he just really smashes it. He kind of hopes that he beats the goalkeeper. He just has a little look at O'Leary. He can really pass it down the side of him. He just belts it at the goalkeeper. It's savable. He should be just passing that with his instep, just along the floor, whip it. Keeper has no chance then.
There's Cooper.
I just mentioned about Franco and Grimes, different types of central midfielder. Grimes dropping deep, dictating the play, playing an accurate forward ball. Franco allowed to break forward because Grimes has sat a little bit deeper. So it's getting that blend, that balance between the two players, both not doing the same thing. They're not playing alongside each other, one playing in front of the other. When they lose the ball, he'll drop back in. When they have it, Franco will step forward.
Yeah, when Luke Williams went to watch him playing in the Portuguese league last season, he said that Franco looked like he was turning the game into a championship game at the heart of the midfield in terms of the way he was snapping around the pitch, his energy, his aggression. And Luke Williams thought, yeah, he will do for me, and he will do for Swansea in the championship. There's Grimes. McNally had to deal with that. Now Norton made the break from right back.
You see Grimes dropping into the back line, the right back then becoming an extra attacker, making a really good forward run. He's not tracked, not picked up by anybody. Just picked up by the centre half. If that header doesn't come in, the defensive header, Norton is in.
Armstrong. This is Max Bird. And he lets it go to Roberts. Roberts cross, Hirakawa able to connect fully with it.
Once again, it's a promising position for Bristol City. It's an opportunity wasted.
Hirakawa again. He's outwitted time, and again he delivers that cross. Mehmeti tries to get to it, but couldn't quite. Cabango did, and he had to. And now the break over Swansea. Ronald. Cooper's up there with him. He's been matched stride for stride by Tanner. Bristol City have got back in their numbers.
It's a great defensive run from Tanner. He goes from right back right across the field to virtually a left back, tracking that intelligent forward run of Cooper.
That's Norton. Vopotnik. Unorthodox, but almost did the job.
He goes at it with his shoulder, does he? It's just slightly ahead of the ball. It's great to see both teams playing with real width, looking to get crosses into their strikers. Dangerous ball in, difficult chance beyond the near post. And Hirakawa down the other end is causing Swansea in time and lots of problems. You know, fullbacks don't normally play against players like this week in and week out. Genuine wingers who can go left or right. It's hard to defend against.
That's Zach Viner who finds a way out. Here is Yu Hirakawa. He almost Cruyffed his way out of trouble. It's a throw into Bristol City, who was given the free kick here, Andrew Kitchen. Yu Hirakawa wanted the free kick.
Yeah, he actually had an opportunity earlier on when a cross came in. It actually drifted infield, but it was on his left foot. Just didn't look convincing at all. If it's on his right foot, it would have been a different story. It's kind of a wave of the left foot, and he was nowhere near making contact with it.
And he has been a threat, as Yu Hirakawa, who didn't think he'd make it in the professional game. He was looking for a proper job after graduating. Proper job, Andy. He says, standing on the gantry watching a football match. There's Hirakawa again. Jason Knight had made the move inside, and Timon with the block.
I think there's plenty of aspects in this first half that Liam Manning will be happy with. His team have genuinely carried a threat going forward. Be disappointed maybe the free kick wasn't given for the foul on O'Leary, the way that they defended that set piece, but overall they have been pretty threatening, even though Swansea have dominated the ball.
Referee just delaying the corner so he can have his say. He's between Gonzalo Franco and Jason Knight. Good luck. Jason Knight, the captain of Bristol City this season. Twine with the corner. Poor one though, Vopotnik again doing the job at the near post. Hirakawa looking to pick out Mehmeti.
There's a couple of set pieces from trying a free kick, a corner where he's hit the first man. Got to get it beyond that.
Might have to change those routes again. One thing we do know, there is dynamite in the boot of Scott Twine. We've seen that down the years. Vopotnik grounded again. McNally with the challenge.
Oh, Vopotnik is a centre-half, centre-forward, a big centre-forward who likes to put himself about, likes that physical battle with centre-halves, and a couple of occasions he's got caught by Viner, now by McNally. That's just par for the course when you play the way that he does.
Jan Vopotnik's life was and career was pretty much turned upside down. He was at Bordeaux in the second tier last season, and then Bordeaux in the summer lost their professional licence. Ended up in the regional leagues in France. Andy Carroll's now playing for them and scoring goals for them. Jan Vopotnik had to leave.
I mentioned there about this first half for Liam Manning. Okay, Swansea have dominated the ball, but look at the expected goals, the threat, the quality of chances created. It's been better for Bristol City than Swansea. That's why he'd be disappointed that he's a goal down.
Oh, intelligent run here by Cooper. He's got on for support if he needs him. Goes back to Franco. Timon makes his way forward. And runs into Tanner.
I think Luke Williams will know this game is far from over. If that closing down from Ollie Cooper had ended up with him taking a 2-0 lead into half-time, he would have been far happier. 1-0 is a dangerous scoreline. He'll know that Bristol City have caused his team defensively plenty of problems in this first period.
Yeah, performance-wise, he doesn't feel that Swansea are yet where he wants them to be. In particular, he wants them to create more opportunities. He has been happy so far with the goals against column, albeit Lawrence Figueroa has had to come to their rescue quite a few times. He has in the first half here to keep out Scott Twine. So he knows that can be improved in terms of stopping opponents getting chances. But he does like his teams to have a bit of steel. Does Luke Williams. It's not just about the fancy footwork up the other end of the pitch. As we head into one additional minute, here's Ji-sung Om. Timon. Plenty in the box here for Swansea. They're demanding the ball. Gonzalo Franco and Vopotnik waiting for the ball to come their way. Norton. There's Grimes. Timon again. And Cooper and Franco now have to vacate the Bristol City box.
Here's modern right-backs or full-backs love to do. See Cal Norton there just going walkabout. He's right over on this left-hand side. He can do that because of the man on the ball here, Matt Grimes. He just offers that defensive insurance so the full-back can step forward.
On once more. Playing on his favourite side, the left. And that is the final act of the first 45 minutes. It has been a lively affair here in South Wales. Ben Cabango stepping up and putting Swansea City in front. Bristol City complained about it. Max O'Leary thought he was blocked off. He didn't get the free kick he was looking for. Swansea got the goal. At the other end, Scott Twine was kept out by Vigouroux, whilst Ollie Cooper struck a post also for Swansea, and Sinclair Armstrong likewise for Bristol City. Sort that one out. Half-time, Swansea 1, Bristol City 0. Yes, thank you, Jules. Well, this is Swansea's best start in 4 years. The last time they started this well, they finished 4th and in the playoffs in the Championship. They have the lead here by a goal to 0, but this is nowhere near done yet. Bristol City showed enough in that first half to show that they can cause Swansea problems again in the second 45. No changes by either team at the break. A reminder, if you missed the team news earlier on, Swansea are without Liam Cullen. He was ill yesterday. They thought he might be able to play, but then when he woke up this morning, there was absolutely no chance. So Jan Vopotnik starting up front for Swansea City. Yu Hiragawa making his first start for Bristol City, and he's looked lively. There's Ronald for Swansea. Into Franco.
Well, just got to hope the second half is like the first. Really open game, plenty of chances. A surprise, really, that we only had the 1 goal.
Yeah, both teams have gone looking for each other here. Neither has been prepared to take a step back. Vigouroux goes long, and that is from one keeper to another. There's Timon. Into Grimes. Now Harry Darling. They'll have to retreat as Bristol City win it back. Nice spin from Zach Viner. Knight. There's Roberts. Good enough on that to reach Mehmeti. Bristol City attacking the end where their fans are.
Yeah, Hayden Roberts is a left-back who loves to get forward, normally does, but with Mehmeti playing in front of him, those forward runs have been curbed a little bit so far in the game.
Well, he's in competition with Cam Pring in that left-back position at Bristol City is Hayden Roberts. The referee had a think about it, and now he blows his whistle for a free kick to Swansea after a foul on Cooper.
Yeah, painful one for Cooper. Just protects the ball really well. There's no way that Viner's going to get to the ball without fouling him. I think the first half display from Bristol City will give Liam Manning hope that they can turn this around. They have done that on plenty of occasions this season.
Now stepping forward here, almost brought the ball under his spell. Here's Knight. Mehmeti through the gap, and he looks to release Sinclair Armstrong. Driving towards the Swansea goal, Sinclair Armstrong, Vigouroux makes the save. And a really good chance gone for Bristol City. There's Ronaldo at the other end. And this is what we saw plenty of in the first half. Both teams prepared to attack each other.
It's proper end-to-end, isn't it? Brilliant from Mehmeti. The forward pass was superb, but he really telegraphs how he's going to finish it. And Vigouroux again, positioning, quick reactions. Doesn't matter how you save him as a goalkeeper, keep them out, and once again does his job.
Got himself into a great position now there, Sinclair Armstrong. Here he is involved again. Mehmeti wants to play to him that time. Just had to hold his run, but here comes Sinclair Armstrong, a slip from Norton, who then commits the foul.
Yeah, Kyle Norton is never ever in a position to make a challenger. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's tackling with his wrong foot. You've got to go with your left. If you go with your right, you know you're taking the man out. You're just stopping Sinclair Armstrong going any further. And for that, you're always going to get booked. But because they've got so many bodies high up the pitch, Swansea, Mehmeti takes advantage of that, exploits that with that accurate forward pass. I think when he opens his body up, you can see where he's looking to place the ball. Vigouroux reads it, but again, his positioning is good, his anticipation, he's ready to make a save, and as I say, it doesn't matter. With your hands, with your feet, keep the ball out, and he does the job again.
Well, Scott Twine is eyeing this up. Some may say it's a little bit too far out, but even if he was standing in Bristol aiming at the Swansea goal from there, it wouldn't be too far out for Scott Twine.
You should be able to, from that distance, get the ball up and down over the wall on target. It's just whether you can get the power to beat the keeper.
Max Bird's also there, by the way. It is Twine, and Vigouroux steps across his line and gets behind it.
Yeah, where he actually fires the ball is absolutely fine. Whipping it with your right foot over the wall to the keeper's right. As I say, it enables you to get it up and over the wall from that distance, but because you're so far out, the power has to be spot on, and it's not quite hard enough to beat Vigouroux.
His best scoring season whilst working under Liam Manning when they were together at MK Dons, scored 20 goals in a campaign a few years ago, Scott Twine. Ronald on the floor. You can hear the shriek from up here. He's got the free kick. Always Ronald's dream to play in the English leagues, albeit playing for a Welsh club now. His mum was in tears when he told her that he was moving to play in the English leagues. Happy tears, I must add. Nicely done by unable though to produce that final ball through to Bopotnik, but the approach play was brilliant. He's had a fine game so far, Ji-sung Here he is again. On with the cross. Now unable to catch up with it.
Yeah, he has been a real live wire. He mixes up his attacking game. He's skillful. He go left foot, right foot, and he normally puts in a decent cross. This is quite brilliant. Hirakawa watching the ball. Nowhere near it. Great turn. He's had a huge effect on the game. Can that continue?
Norton. Knight. Twine. Cabango. Grimes being fouled by Mehmeti. Here's a player Liam Manning was looking to try and take on loan to Oxford last season before Liam Manning headed to Bristol City to take the top job at Ashton Gate. Replacing the popular Nigel Pearson.
Yeah, I do like that about Swansea. See Vigouroux there playing that longer forward pass. It's not just a hit and hope, it's there to turn Bristol City around. So at times they'll keep the ball well, and at times they'll play that little bit longer if Bristol City squeeze up. So mixing up their game, not just playing the same way, being predictable.
Franco. McNally has a look. Ronald's after him. Coolly done by O'Leary. McNally. There's Knight. And Bird.
Well, it's been a decent start to the second half from Bristol City. It really mirrors the first half. Less of the ball, but still plenty of threat. Can they be clinical, though? Can they actually get the ball past Lawrence Vigouroux? Arguably the best goalkeeper in the Championship so far.
Yeah, Former Swansea manager Brendan Rodgers was a fan of Lawrence Vigouroux, which is why he signed him for Liverpool. That gets away from Franco.
Once again from Swansea, that longer forward ball, midfielder makes the run, that longer pass is played.
Twine. Harry Darling looking to step across Sinclair Armstrong, who caught the Swansea centre-back.
This is not really where a centre-half wants to be, drawn out into a full-back position, but what Darling does well is the line that he runs. He cuts off Sinclair Armstrong, gets in between man and ball, any contact, and the free kick is given. Good defending.
Bird involved. Viner. Metti's on his way here. Kyle Norton was paying close attention to him. Too close, Mehmeti feels.
Kyle Norton is round on the cover. Does he actually play the ball? Does he play the man? Bristol City feel that he plays Mehmeti, not the ball.
Now Franco involved. It will be a free kick to Bristol City. Mehmeti still frustrated. Franco and Anis Mehmeti exchange words. It's hotting up.
Yeah, this time it's Bristol City with a longer forward ball. Good run from Mehmeti. It was good cover from Kyle Norton, but did he nudge Mehmeti off the ball?
There's Franco. Scott Twine was shown a yellow card a few seconds ago. Vigouroux. There's that long pass again to find Ji-sung Om. There's a bit of movement down below us on the Bristol City bench, so changes could be imminent from Liam Manning, who, as we mentioned earlier, used his bench really well against Oxford last week in that turnaround victory. Ronald able to step away from Mehmeti.
Yeah, you mentioned that long pass from Vigouroux, it was so accurate from the goalkeeper. There's the longer forward ball. Kyle Norton round on the cover, and he runs into the man, he plays the man, not the ball. I can see why Bristol City aren't happy. He'll say that the attacker's just run into him. I think he knows what he's doing there, using all his experience just to block him off. He does. You can see that right shoulder. He leans into Mehmeti, he fouls him.
Well, Bristol City are making a change at left back. Cam Pring is coming on. Hayden Roberts, who was just having a little bit of attention, he is taken off. Joe Williams is also about to come on, but before that, it's Mark Sykes, who scored here last season, who replaces Yu Hirakawa. And Max Bird's game is over too, and Joe Williams will add his snap to the Bristol City midfield. So Liam Manning has acted.
Well, he did that at half-time against Oxford, and it worked. Is it going to work here?
There's Grimes. Now Om. This is Cooper. Grimes with eyes on that. Manning has changed to a back four this season. Was a back three mainly last season, but he feels the back four means that they can have another player further up the pitch to help add further pressure higher up the pitch. Bristol City looking to cause problems for Swansea here with Sykes. Vigouroux pounces.
Well, he should be putting a better cross in, because Sykes drifts back onto his left foot, and Timon just doesn't get close to him. Doesn't even try to stop the cross. That's not good enough. It's not a good ball in. The goalkeeper, Vigouroux, the form that he's in, that's just practice for him, just collecting practice, really. The quality into the box, the strikes on target from Bristol City have to be better to beat Vigouroux.
There's Knight. Josh Key is about to come on for Swansea. We're hearing it will be Kyle Norton to make way, so a straight swap at right back. Sinclair Armstrong, this time in a battle with Cabango. Tries to step around Cabango, but runs out of pitch. So Josh Key, who was taken out of the starting lineup here today, he replaces Kyle Norton, who's always a hero here.
Well, this is the earlier challenge he makes on Mehmeti. I think it's that right shoulder of his. He just leans in. This is the better angle. You see, he just leans into him. He just nudges him, clearly nudges him off the ball, and he has a little look at the referee because he's worried.
So Josh Key is on. From a family of rugby players and boxers, he chose football, Josh Key. And he's done a fine job of it so far. The referee will have to stop play after that collision. He's given the free kick the way of Swansea. Oms hit the deck. Medical staff coming on to deal with that particular incident. I think it's Tanner who's down too for Bristol City and for Swansea.
I always worry when players go down like this. Is it a clash of heads, or is it a hard landing? Let's just hope that both players are okay to carry on. It's been a really good battle against Tanner down the Swansea left. Thankfully, both players sitting up, looking okay. A nasty one. You see Tanner gets whacked in the face, and then comes down, a really heavy landing. Painful for both.
Ji-sung On back on his feet, and just inquiring as to the well-being of George Tanner there.
It's one of those situations where both players clearly have eyes for the ball, and you can't prepare yourself for the contact or the landing because you're just getting knocked off balance or getting caught when you don't expect it. So it's hard to prepare yourself for what's coming.
Yeah, he's just made that triple change with Sykes and Pring and Williams coming on. Manning just having a word there with Nicky Wells by the looks of things. Scored a penalty last week against Oxford, slammed it home to win the game, although the coach's back on.
He doesn't start many games, but he has so much experience of scoring goals, key goals as well. He has that mentality to think, OK, I might be a sub, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. If I get a chance, I'll come on and get a goal and change the complexion of a game.
George Tanner back on his feet, and both he and are ready to come back on. Still all from Ben Cabango, the difference between these two. Hotly disputed by Bristol City. Ollie Cooper almost made it through that gap. And a foul on Twine. Both and Tanner are back on the pitch. Darling getting the better of Armstrong. Looks to be a handball in the midst of all that, but play has gone on. The arm was down by the side. There's Key. Cooper. Swansea attacking in numbers here. Bristol City with numbers back. Ollie Cooper unable to slide it through to Vopotnik.
It's just the wrong choice. He has Josh Key and acres of space to his right. Needs to get his head up and play it.
Firm challenge by Timon on Tanner. A proper challenge. Lou Williams just does cheer tackles almost as much as goals, the Swansea City head coach. He also likes to do an 11 against 11 in training, which not too many do these days. Leading up to a game, he likes 11 against 11, likes the competition, likes the tackles, the challenges. There's Sykes for Bristol City, stepping forward. Stepping into Cabango. Jason Knight picks up. Tanner's cross. Harry Darling in the way. Here come Bristol City again with Viner.
First Cabango, then Darling, the two centre-halves from Swansea doing their job.
Cooper's in the way. There's Om. Now Franco. There's Key. Franco off Mametti and out for a throw. Swansea had to dig in against Coventry last week, had to deal with the weather getting involved as well. Rain stopped play at Coventry last week. They emerged with a 2-1 win. Managed to manage that game and get the 3 points, which has added to their promising start to the campaign.
Well, Swansea have the lead, but it's a game that is still very much in the balance. Look at where the game is being played. Both sides are getting the ball into the final third pretty regularly, pretty similarly. Who's going to get the next goal?
I thought you were about to answer that. There's Harry Darling. Again, he's picked out that diagonal ball and he's found Ronald. Spring in the way. There's Key. Key picks up. Ronald. There's Cooper. And now Franco, who went close in the first half. Ronald cuts across it.
Yeah, it's just a wild strike. He gets overexcited. Just wonder with the layoff, could he just take a little bit off it, Franco? I'll just roll it really carefully. Maybe puts a little bit too much on it, but saying that, it's still there to be hit goals, and he should be testing the keeper, and he knows it.
Sinclair Armstrong leaves the scene. He was denied by Vigouroux right at the start of the second half. And on in his place comes the hugely experienced Nicky Wells, into his 6th season now at Bristol City. It's hugely important off the pitch too at Ashton Gate, with his experience and now some know-how which he can provide for Liam Manning.
Yeah, it's a different challenge for Cabango and Darling up against Sinclair Armstrong with that pace and direct running, and he's a real focal point. But Nicky Wells, a different type of striker. That experience though gets into good attacking positions and is clinical.
Wells involved here. There's Pring. Here comes Sean. Ball goes long. Joe Allen has emerged from the Swansea bench. He'll be coming on shortly. Looks like a double change. Miles Peart-Harris is also stripped and ready for action for Swansea. Player on loan here from Brentford. Knight, nicely done away from Grimes. The referee's played the advantage. Mehmeti. Mehmeti goes in low. Cabango standing his ground again. Williams with that ball in, away by Harry Darling.
Cabango, Darling, defensively so strong. Blocking crosses, headed clearances. The longer the game goes on, maybe Swansea will be forced to sit a little bit deeper. Those two have to command the team, the back line, keep them out of their penalty area.
Swansea have conceded just the 4 goals in the Championship so far this season. A lot of that, as we've mentioned a few times already, down to the great work of Lawrence Vigouroux. And the defenders in front of him, of course. Just in case they're watching it back later, aren't they? We're back here soon. There's Key. Gonzalo Franco and Jan Vepotnik, we believe, are the two who will come off shortly, with Allen and Peart-Harris about to come on. Ronald makes the run forward, away by Pring. Mehmeti. There's McNally. Now Twine. Sykes looking to react. Nice touch. Tanner driving forward to Bristol City. Sykes points to where he wants it, and that's where he gets it. And Bristol City get the corner.
Scott Twine dropping really deep into his own half, just getting Bristol City on the front foot, but once again Harry Darling, a centre half, doing his job, blocking across, having to dig deep here.
Once again a reminder, Swansea have yet to concede from a set piece this season, and they maintain that record. Sykes with the corner, an outswinger. Wells had a swing. Wells again, there's Williams. And Jason Knight exchanging views. As Jason Knight went backwards, Williams thought the ball should go forwards. It does now from Knight. That's Mehmeti. Viner. Mehmeti gets it back from Twine. Wells is waiting in the middle, but once again there's a Swansea body in the way, and once again it's Harry Darling.
And Swansea getting pinned in. Mehmeti drifting over onto the right-hand side, just mixing up their attacking game again. Centre halves bailing Swansea out.
There's a Swansea double change. Jan Vepotnik, who went close in the first half, he is withdrawn. And on comes Miles Peart-Harris, who joined on loan here from Brentford, Chelsea Academy graduate midfielder. And Gonzalo Franco, his game is over. And on comes Joe Allen, who potentially could be coming out of international retirement. He's held talks with Craig Bellamy, the Wales boss. And Joe Allen comes on.
Well, we saw Bristol City bringing on plenty of experience with Nicky Wells, and Swansea doing the same with Joe Allen alongside Matt Grimes in that central midfield area, being brought on to use his experience, control the game. Swansea City are getting forced back.
So Joe Allen, son of South West Wales, is on the pitch for his Swansea City as we head towards the final 15 minutes. Bristol City still well and truly in this fight. The start of a 3-game week when so much can change. Bristol City host Sheffield on Wednesday, and then it's the 7-side derby against Cardiff City next weekend for them. Swansea with a trip to Sheffield United on Wednesday and in a home game against Stoke, who they beat comfortably here last season. Williams. And Sakvina. Mehmeti. He's got two in his way. Yanis Mehmeti found a way out, but there was a third body in Ben Cabango.
He's got no support, so he has to take on all the Swansea defenders there. Did well to get the set piece.
Bristol City are not hanging around. Here's Pring. Quick feet from the referee there. Wells. That's Tanner. There's another important block. It spins behind for another Bristol City corner despite the protests of Cooper.
Ollie Cooper's work off the ball, so impressive. Saw it in the first half as they're looking not to score. As an attacker, he leads the line, wants to be creative, but he works so hard for the team when they don't have the ball.
Yeah, I think he might be playing a false nine now after Vopotnik left the scene. Another Bristol City corner, another outswinger. It's a firm, fabulous header. Jason Knight, the captain, with a captain's goal. This is a day for character, a day for resilience, and Bristol City have shown that. And Swansea's resistance has been broken.
Well, it's no more than Bristol City, Liam Manning, deserve. They've been a better team in the last 10 minutes or so. They've forced the issue. They've played in the Swansea half. This is an away swinging corner, but just look where it lands. It doesn't leave the 6-yard box, really. It's there to be attacked. It's not a big booming, arcing ball in, which is difficult to attack. It's fairly flat. It's not moving a lot in the air. Keeper can't come and deal with it. And Jason Knight, he just makes it his. It's a thunderous header. The delivery is outstanding. The desire, though, to get to the ball is all important. Game on.
Well, Jason Knight's first of the season. He scored 7 last season for Bristol City, his best ever return. But he wanted that. He made sure that was his.
It's what I was always taught, taking away swinging corners. Try and keep them inside the 6-yard box. Don't let the goalkeeper come and catch it. So keep it fairly flat, but don't put those big, booming, arcing balls in that are hard to attack. Put it out in front of your teammates, and that's exactly what happened.
The first time that Swansea have conceded from a set piece this season. A corner of Bristol City fans away to our left, more than a corner, making themselves heard inside the Swansea.com stadium. They have hit back.
When you consider the quality we've seen, the chances we've seen from open play, it's amazing that both goals have come from set pieces.
Wells gets the better of Harry Darling. There's Key. Away from Mehmeti. Now Joe Allen. Cooper. There's Kurt Harris in the middle. Ji Sung-om away by Pring.
Well, Pring's defensive positioning there, brilliant, so important, exactly where he should be, round on the cover. Cross coming in from the other side, be in front of your man, be goal side, and he was. A real desire to get to the ball. It is about the delivery. The delivery's got to be there. You've got to have a ball to attack. It's just there's no way that any Swansea player is going to stop him getting to the ball. And he steps back, steps forward, gets away from Cabango. And that ball is only going to end up in one place once he makes contact. Thunderous header.
And he provides so much energy for Bristol City, Derby before that, and for his country as well. I did ask him last season if he was tired. He said no. I'd rather play games than train, which I think is probably the feeling of most players. But he stepped forward with a big goal here, and here come Bristol City again. Mehmeti away from Ronaldo. He's dug out the cross, and the header from Sykes, and Vigouroux gets down to it. He was almost surrounded, but another chance for Bristol City.
He probably deserves a little bit of luck because of the amazing saves that he's made. It did get away from him. The ball zipped off the surface.
Joe Allen slips it through. Too much on it for Pert Harris. Quite a game, quite a contest here.
Isn't it great to see Swansea going back at Bristol City, not just kind of holding on for the point, because Bristol City are the better team at the moment. When this ball is headed down, it zips off the surface. It's difficult for the goalkeeper. It's right underneath him, really. Gets a little bit lucky. As I say, I think he deserves it. He's made some great saves, but that ball, it's the awkward bounce, the wet surface as well, even causes the best of problem. I said the Bristol City are the better side, deserve their equaliser, and that really underlines it. They've been on the front foot, they've forced the issue the last 10 minutes, and they've got their just rewards.
Harry Darling. Ronaldo again was the target, making the run from out to in. O'Leary holds on.
I suppose that's the one thing Bristol City have to be a little bit careful of. They're on the front foot, they're looking for the win, but we've seen with Swansea playing those longer forward balls, if they commit too many bodies up the pitch looking for the winner, they could lose the game.
O'Leary going long that time. He's not a manager whose obsession is to play out from the back every single time. Liam Manning, he calls football a cat and mouse game. Do what's right at the right time. Whether that's playing out from the back or going over a press. He wants to coach good decision makers on the pitch, Liam Manning. Ronaldo. And slides in, and it's a Swansea corner.
I just mentioned Bristol City have to be a little bit careful the way this game is being played out. They have conceded a lot of second half goals. Are they going to suffer again?
Well, set pieces have been key so far in this contest. Grimes comes across to take the latest set piece. Darling was always a target from these kind of situations. He's second in the queue behind Joe Allen, who's trying to protect him. Away by Sykes.
The attacking conga line, look.
As it is technically known in the coaching. Joe Allen again. To try and block the blockers. Grimes again, the near post is hit, Sykes in the way. There's Key. Messing about from Pring. Attracting the attention of Premier League clubs not so long ago. Campring. Key. There's Ben Cabango. Now Grimes. Joe Allen. There's Pert Harris. Looks like he's operating as the false nine, with Cooper just behind him. Miles Pert Harrison's coming up.
I suppose the problem could be when you play with that false nine, you take off Vipotnik, who is the target man. And if you can't get the ball in and secure it high up the pitch, the ball just keeps coming back, so it can be a problem when you play this way.
A striker in his very young days, Miles Pert Harris. He's also been a centre-back, a midfielder and a winger. Versatile.
Show off.
Let's bring a little slip from Key. Mehmeti. room for the cross. Capango looking to deal with it, under pressure from Wells, a Bristol City corner.
He'll be disappointed he's not put his instep through this and cleared it back from where it came. It's given away a soft corner.
Scott Twine placing this ball. Sykes is lurking at the far post. Knight is in there again. Knight trying to get to it and trying to get a clear run. Comfortably dealt with, though, by Pert Harris. There's Pring, who's away from Om. And still going. And he's still waiting inside the box here, and evasive action being taken by Vigouroux as it flicked up towards him as Viner looked to pounce and profit from any scraps.
Well, it hits the goalkeeper, brilliant from Pring, but it hits the goalkeeper. Why does it hit him? Because of his positioning, again, outstanding.
Bristol City winners here last season. They did the double over Swansea last season. Looking to flex their muscles again here. This is Grimes for Swansea. He had the lead in this contest for so long before Jason Knight hit back. Pring looking to block off Ronald's run. McNally.
Yeah, just go back to that Franco chance in the first half where he smashed it at the goalkeeper, could have made it 2-0. A longer way back then for Bristol City. That didn't go in, it just kept the game alive, 1-0.
Mehmeti's been found, and then Key got to him. Mehmeti again having a shirt pulled by Key. He's escaped the clutches of Josh Key. Mehmeti trying to squeeze it in at that near post. Ronaldo, a miscue. Mehmeti in the scrap with Key, the ball goes behind, it's a goal kick.
There's still huge pressure on that Swansea City goal. Great footwork, just draws Josh Key in, then rolls him. So I think he's thinking about initially playing the cross. There's no teammate to play to, so he just goes for the strike on target, doesn't catch it cleanly.
Fali Mayulu is coming on for Bristol City. A striker who they signed from Rapid Vienna in the summer. He replaces Scott Twine as Bristol City are going for this.
Well, football is all about being effective. I think in this second half, we've seen that from Bristol City. It's not about dominating the ball, it's how threatening you can be when you have it. And Bristol City have been the more threatening in this second half and are deservedly back in the game.
He scored 11 goals in 35 games last season for Rapid Vienna. He's tall, he's 6'4". Short spell at Paris Saint-Germain, that's where his brother Senny is right now. Azim Abdullahi is about to come on for Swansea. Ji-sung On will make way shortly. He's racing after that. There's the South Korean. Pert Harris, there's Grimes. Now Josh Key. Mayulu looking to put the pressure on Cabango. Now Vigouroux, who, as we mentioned many times, is very calm with the ball at his feet. Others may not be calm, but he is. Grimes. There's Josh Key. Now Joe Allen. Ronald gives chase. Pring steps across his path and does the job.
And just gave Ronald too much to do with that overhit pass.
So Ji-sung On, who at times has lit up this game, he's withdrawn, and on comes Azim Abdullahi.
The longer the game went on, his influence really declined, and it's more of a defensive effort from Swansea in the second half.
Another versatile player, Azim Abdullahi, can play in a central position or out wide. When he arrived at Swansea, they asked him to play in central midfield. He was amazed because he hadn't played there before. It has gone out wide though, replacing Ji-sung Om. Ronald looking to release Key. Pring making the block so McNally could get to it. Key though putting pressure on McNally. And then Pring hits the deck after the challenge by Ronald and wins the free kick.
It was a poor pass actually from McNally. He under hits it, that tempts Ronald in. It is a foul though.
Joe Allen. Is there a late twist to come here? Viner. Mayulu. Grimes in front of him. Mehmeti. Ronald's gone down, holding his head after that coming together.
It looks as if Mehmeti's arms were up. I'm not sure there's a swinging elbow or anything too sinister in there. He's battling for the ball. You can understand that, the state of the game. He just needs that left arm, just catch Ronaldo. It's a free kick, nothing more.
5 additional minutes. There's someone out there about to write the headlines. Cabango rises. Cabango again, he's gone down. The referee having a long look and then moves away from the incident. Fali Mayulu. Mehmeti screaming for the ball on this side of the pitch. O'Leary will try and pick him out now. Grimes gets to it. But this is Mehmeti. Plenty forward here for Bristol City, looking to try and win this game. Mehmeti tried to slalom his way through. Took on one too many.
He just overdoes it. He's drawn all the Swansea defenders to him. Released the pass. He's got teammates in space.
McNally and Pert Harris in the battle now, won by the Bristol City centre-back. O'Leary's clearance goes straight to Joe Allen. Cooper sights in on him, and it's a free kick to Swansea.
What a fabulous game this has been. Breathless from first minute right to the end. Both sides going at it. This one's a clear foul booking as well. He just goes straight through. Ollie Cooper there. He can complain all he likes, but it's a definite yellow card.
How costly could it be? Bristol City will be hoping it won't be, as they have a point right now in the palm of their hand. Grimes standing over it for Swansea. Mango was trying to make an impact, but Tanner gets to it.
Cabango went to ground. There wasn't too many complaints from him about whether he was fouled here. There is a bit of contact on him, but to me it didn't seem as if he was kind of thrown to the ground. Contact with consequence, remember. That's what the referee, the officials are looking for. Not enough there.
Well, if it stays this way, once again, Bristol City will have come from behind to take something. Seen in this game that they can be a danger. Bristol City, who have been on the back of back-to-back away defeats coming into this in terms of away games, losing at Derby and Blackburn Rovers. Swansea looking to try and change the picture. Here's Grimes. Harry Darling. Cabango. Ronald. Pring's done well since coming on. He's helped out by Mehmeti. There's Pring again. Mayulu. Nice back heel to pick out Mehmeti, but Cabango gets involved. Now Key. Key's cross. That's Timon. Cooper. At times it's been chaos, but it's been beautiful chaos.
Yeah, the scoreline probably doesn't do it justice. This has been one of the championship games of the season. The energy, intensity, desire from both teams, extraordinary.
Delaying the restarts means that Wells is yellow carded. Time running out. There's Grimes. Timon. Abdullahi. Swansea fans shouting forward. They want the ball in the box here. Timon's waiting inside the box, but couldn't do anything with it.
What a chance to put a decent cross in, because he'd run away from Sykes. Hadn't been tracked, just needs good contact, just whipped this ball across, made his run. Sykes has misjudged the flight of the ball, hasn't seen the forward run. That was an opportunity to put a dangerous cross in.
Just a proper game of championship football. Both teams went looking for each other. Both teams found each other. Jason Knight to the rescue for Bristol City, heading home the equaliser after Ben Cabango with a hotly disputed goal that put Swansea City in front. Somehow, there were only 2 goals in this contest. The championship at its best. It is finished. Swansea City 1, Bristol City 1.